For a long time, I believed discipline was something other people had and I didn't. I would watch productive people online, listen to their routines, and wonder why it seemed so effortless for them while I struggled to stay consistent for even a few days. I thought discipline meant waking up early every day, never feeling tired, and always knowing exactly what to do. The truth is, discipline doesn't look like that at all. Most of the time, it looks boring, uncomfortable, and repetitive. And once I accepted that, I finally stopped waiting for motivation to save me. I used to rely heavily on motivation. On good days, I would plan big goals and promise myself I would completely change my life. On bad days, I would do nothing and feel guilty about it. This cycle kept repeating until I realized something important. Motivation is emotional, but discipline is practical. Motivation depends on how you feel. Discipline depends on what you do, regardless of how you feel. Once I stopped asking myself if I felt ready and started asking myself what needed to be done, things slowly began to shift. The way I built discipline was not through extreme routines or drastic changes. It started with choosing to keep small promises to myself. Instead of trying to be productive all day, I focus on being productive for just a short period of time. Instead of planning the perfect week, I planned a realistic day. I learned that discipline grows when you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. Every time you do what you said you would do, even in a small way, your confidence increases. Over time, those small wins begin to stack. One of the most important lessons I learned was that discipline has very little to do with willpower. Willpower runs out quickly, especially when you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. What actually matters is your environment. I stopped putting myself in situations where distractions were likely to happen. I put my phone in another room, cleaned my workspace before starting, and removed unnecessary friction. When the right choice becomes the easy choice, discipline feels less like a battle and more like a natural response. Another turning point for me was learning to stop negotiating with myself. Every time I told myself I'll start in 5 minutes or I'll do it tomorrow, I was reinforcing the habit of delay. Discipline began to form when I decided that certain actions were non-negotiable, not because I enjoyed them, but because I respected my future self enough to show up. I learned to act first and let motivation follow instead of waiting for motivation to appear. There were many days when I didn't feel like doing anything at all, days when I felt tired, unfocused, or emotionally drained. In the past, I would have used those feelings as an excuse to stop, but discipline taught me that discomfort isn't a sign to quit. It's a sign that growth is happening. Showing up on those hard days mattered more than showing up on the easy ones. That's where discipline is actually built. I also had to change how I dealt with failure. I used to see one missed day as proof that I wasn't disciplined. One bad week would turn into a bad month, and eventually I would quit entirely. Now I see failure differently. Missing a day doesn't break discipline, quitting does. Discipline is not about never falling off track, it's about learning how to return quickly without judging yourself. The faster you reset, the stronger your discipline becomes. As time went on, something subtle but powerful started to happen. My identity began to change. I stopped seeing myself as someone who tries to be disciplined and started seeing myself as someone who shows up. This shift made everything easier. When your actions align with the person you believe you are, discipline becomes part of your identity, not just a habit. You don't force it, you live it. If you want to build discipline too, don't start by changing your entire life. Start by choosing one habit that matters and commit to it fully. Make it simple, remove distractions, and stop waiting for perfect conditions. Accept that some days will feel heavy and unproductive and show up anyway. Discipline isn't built through intensity, it's built through patience. There will be moments when progress feels invisible, days when you feel like nothing is changing. Those are the moments that matter most. Discipline is quiet. No one celebrates your consistency. No one sees the effort you put in behind the scenes. But every small decision you make is shaping who you're becoming. Even when it doesn't feel like it, you are building something. Discipline didn't just give me productivity, it gave me self-respect. There's something powerful about knowing that you can rely on yourself, that when things get hard, you don't just disappear. That trust changes how you move through life. You stop doubting yourself, you stop waiting for permission, you act.